Just a second, I'm gonna check that I have it live. Why isn't it opening? I need to make sure that it's streaming because otherwise, what's the point of me talking? Okay, now it seems. Oh, almost broke the table. Okay, now it seems that it's working. Okay, so hi guys. Today we're gonna continue drawing. I'm just gonna test the sound. Okay, it's gonna be. Okay, it seems like everything is working perfectly. Okay, so today, yesterday we worked on this part of the leg. Now today we have this part and the second leg. And as I said, we're gonna be speeding up. So yeah, let's go into Scribbler brush. I found this brush yesterday in Procreate brushes. I wanted just to show you. Like let's take for example a blue. Look at that. Like and then you can create like smooth transitions, but it creates this weird texture. I copied it into my brushes from the normal Patreon, sorry. I was just checking out the post on Patreon from Kate Pellerin. But yeah, let's go to Scribbler brush and let's continue correcting the shapes. So here I want to go as light as it comes to separate the darkest part of the leg that is behind from the lighter part. So here I'm gonna actually take this darker color and make a shadow. Just adding that little tiny shadow will immediately make it stand out, the leg that isn't, like the part of the leg that is in front, and make us understand that it's bent. Okay, a bit of texture here. So I'm taking the local colors and just blending them out towards the outside line. So to get rid of the lines. There. Sorry, morning talking. Yesterday I was watching one video by Beatrice Blue of her drawing live while I was having breakfast, and it was funny. She said like, I know was saying that if you really want to know how someone is like, here I'm gonna go in first with the floor, fix the floor color here, and then with the leg color because there's this white line that I want to get rid of. So she said, like, I know that if you want to get to know someone, it's to divorce them, or which sounds nice, right? Or to, sorry, slurping my tea, slurp, slurp, or to do some like house, like renovation stuff with them. That's gonna tell you who they really are, what's their true nature. But she said, if you really want to know someone, because this is when the people don't have a filter, is when people are drawing and talking at the same time. Because like this, you get to know the true self of those people. I hope you like my true self, considering that there were more than 77 people yesterday alone who unsubscribed from me. Guess not very much, but um, I can't continue doing the thing that I'm not passionate about. Like, I don't know. I do consider myself an artist because I've been drawing for so many years and because I really want to, because it really fulfills me. Like, I feel like it's my thing. And yeah, but the fact that more than 77 people yesterday alone unsubscribed from me, that was like, oh, come on. But it's okay. I'm changing completely what I'm doing, so I think it was to be expected, to be honest. So yeah, but yeah, what she said, it was really like that's just the truth. I'm trying to put my phone so that I can see in case if anyone comments. Okay, so that's the truth of life, basically. Let's go a bit into the hair here. I'm gonna cover this line. I like this color to add it here where the elastic meets the hair, kind of create that occlusion shadow. We have this also darker color here that I'm gonna add, and then I don't have to go so far in the drawing to pick those colors. But first of all, we're keeping it consistent, and second of all, we are also take this brown. First of all, we're keeping it consistent. Second of all, we are also creating a bit of like kind of fake volume. So there we go. I added this line underneath, and that's it. It's going to give us the impression, the illusion of the actual light and shadow happening. Okay, fixing the colors. I'm using, I don't want it to be perfect. I understood that all this time, it took me such a long time to make it kind of perfect-ish, because you can't make things perfect and it doesn't exist in drawing. There's always going to be something you will want to change afterwards. That's one truth that I learned. So here I'm correcting the shape from both sides. Okay, so this side of the no, this side of the hair, and on the other side from the side of the leg. But the point is that I wanted to say is that you will always take a look at your painting the next day, and you will say, oh wow, wow, here I could have done this, or maybe today I learned something new and I could have done it better. And in your mind, better is something that you learned today. So I understood that that's a very big trap to fall into when it comes to drawing. Okay, I'm gonna take this lighter color just to give a bit more texture here. And I'm gonna do this brand. First I do dark and then I add lights on top of it. I already mentioned in the previous videos that when hairs, they stick out mostly where you have a hairband that's keeping it together. Do it like this, that it goes behind there. But here it's the tip of this ponytail. So here it can come out, yeah, where the headband is, and it can be as long as the rest of the hair. Constantly picking colors and fixing that. I can erase the line, but as I said, I don't like erasing the outside line because I lose the shape. I want to keep that shape crisp. And here I'm adding those lighter colors. Okay. Just to detach it from there, from the bag. So Natalia, who is my illustration mentor and my friend, I hope, um, she told me that the bag should be ochre color. And I don't know if you have seen it, but I said, oh my gosh, but the ochre color doesn't fit here so well. I wanted to make it more colorful. So what I'm gonna do is when I finish the bag, I will see if I like it like more ochre or if I like it more purple. Because for now, it's maybe she's right. Like, I actually think that she might be right. That I was wrong and she is right. So you see, um, but if the illustrations were ready and I would get feedback like that, I would be like, oh my gosh, I could have made this better. And do not fall into these traps of betterizing. I know it's not a word, but I can't describe it any other way. This brighter orange here, to add a bit of texture. Oh, maybe a bit of the tip here has that orange. Let's see. Yeah, well, looks good. And now I'm gonna pick this color. Actually, let's do this on another. We'll fix it when we do the bag. Okay. So for now, I'm gonna leave it like this, and then we'll fix the shape when we do the bag. Okay. I'm gonna add a bit of shadowy bits in between these hair strands, just a bit, picking up the color of the. Actually, here I want to remove that line. I'm gonna go into the same eraser, like so. Just gonna keep it, but erase it in places, like very strong, overpowering. Okay, and now I wanna add some of that darkness here. Okay, I'm so happy that the streaming works nice today. Yesterday was a mess. So I'm just adding on top. I'm glazing over with the darker red color. Ah, I'm on the wrong layer. I'm on the wrong layer. Okay, let's go back to our hair layer. Where was I? Where did I do it? Here. So I'm gonna add this color here. That's why I was on the wrong layer. Nice. Okay. And here I want to show that their hairs overlapping. I'm gonna take the mid-tone that I created here and kind of blend it in. Okay, and here I'm gonna add that shadow part a bit so that makes sense. Intensifying a bit the shadows in some places. Okay, let's head on to our blue scrunchie. I really like this dark blue tone here for that contact shadow, but here it has to be very light to make that contrast. Do the contrast, and I'm gonna cover the lines here that I see. There's like this, it's quite floofy, this one. This hairband is quite floofy, so I'm gonna add that texture of floofiness to it. Oh, it's a word, floofy. Inventing words here. So here it's kind of these, it has these like fluffy, you know that there are those fluffy kind, like I have a million different, a million different hair bands for my daughter, and that's why I know how they can be. And this one is gonna be like this. They're all like different. She has them all different. I think this is gonna look cool. Make it look like a bit more fluffy. Yep, nice. Sorry if you heard that. Slurping my tea. Okay, so here what I want to do straight is I'm gonna go into the line layer. Where's my line layer? There we go. And I want to get rid. Why isn't it? Ah, because it's the floor. Okay, so where's the floor line layer? Let's find it. There we go. No, fine. We're gonna cover it. I don't care. I'm not gonna go looking for the layer, hunting for the layer. Um, let's just cover it, and that's it. It's just look how much faster it was. Just covering it instead of looking for it. Okay, I'm gonna take this darker color here and move into the floofiness. Oh, my alarm sounded. Like darken things up a bit here. Okay, so here I'm gonna go into the hair color itself. Maybe a bit more orange to detach it from the background. So I'm gonna add this local color for now here. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to first remove the outline. Here where I see where the contrast is good, actually keep it. This one, the lighter with the contrast with the background, actually keep it. Looks nice. Not trying not to lose that texture of the watercolor at the same time. Okay. And here we have that strand of blues here. Okay, so let's add these colors already to these strands as well. Okay, like so. Let's separate this from the floor a bit with this color. Cheat here. Separate it. Okay. And now I'm going to add some of the gingers to give it texture and a bit of light and shadow feel. Such a tiny piece, but like even just doing two layers, like two passes over with darker and lighter, gonna make a difference. Maybe this one can go this way. Okay, maybe a bit of brighter colors here in places. And that's it. This should look good. Okay, now here what I want to do is I want to create that shadow effect that we had under the hairband. Like hairband, I don't know if it's a hairband, I think it's a scrunchie in American English, but the elastic that holds the hair together. So I'm pulling out this shadow color into the hair itself. Then I'm gonna go into this even darker color. I think I lost it here. Yeah, and add it. Sorry, here and here. I'm gonna add it already in less opacity and less. I'm gonna go less into the hair itself, like like so. I'm thinking maybe I want my hair to have a bit of ginger over here, still keeping that texture, but just a bit of ginger, not losing the texture of watercolor. I think that's better. I'm going back and forth between the colors here, and I'm gonna take this dark purple brown, purple brown. What are you saying? But yeah, this dark brown that is in the reds, let's say. Create that contact shadow and then blend in this area. And I think I would need to add some here as well, just a hint, that contact shadow. Even though it's floofy, in some places it's going to show. Okay. Maybe a bit of that hair texture here. Okay. Let's go on to the greens. So this is the green that I would like to keep here for the contact shadow. Okay. I'm picking the local colors here. I'm only covering the areas where I would need to cover up the lines. And that's it. I can also remove those lines, but for now I'm not gonna, like, those lines are not needed. The ones here, for example, I could have removed them, but I'm not gonna go into that. Looking for the other layer, like, it's fine. Maybe a bit of shadow here because it's behind the arm. Need to be able to see here the value difference. Yeah, even though I like the texture here, I need to keep it more ginger, so, and more dark, so that I can separate the arm from the actual hair behind it. Okay, maybe here on the edge I'm gonna add a bit of that green for now. Okay, so here I'm gonna take the color of the sweater. I did the sweater. There was one day that didn't record. I was like, okay, that doesn't count. It was like, I don't know what happened, but it didn't record. Um, it was streaming and it didn't record, and I think it was on purpose. Like not on purpose. I mean, like, it was destiny. Destiny intervened, told me like, no, you don't need that. The sweater came out like, it really. The sweater looked like as if it wanted to scratch your eye out. Okay. It was just too bright, like mega bright. Like, no, mega bright is not even, does not even describe it, does not even start to describe it. Here I'm gonna add a bit of darkness to this hairband also because I want to detach it from my sleeve, because the sleeve comes forward like so. Okay, so here we have that shadow happening. I'm gonna add it everywhere to separate the sleeve from the hair. Even though it doesn't work like that, the light and shadow works in like differently. I don't care. It's my illustration. So it makes more sense to me to separate things than to keep it realistic. I don't like realism anymore. So it's not that I don't like it anymore. It's like the fact that um, it doesn't fascinate me. Like it doesn't create that feeling like of wow. I was always fascinated by children's books since the very beginning, and this is me actually doing the thing that I like, and it's really taking my mind off of everything in the world, like all the stuff that can be happening, just erases it for a moment and gives me time to breathe. It's the thing that I needed. And okay, so I'm going here and see maybe some brighter red here. Let's see. Yeah, that attaches it. Good job. Yay. There's the contact shadow. Now we're gonna go into these. Actually, we're gonna add this same shadow over here and detach it even more because we already went darker. You can always go darker. Um, First go subtle and then you can always go darker. Okay. Try not to lose that watercolor texture altogether. Okay. Here in the shadow, add a bit of darkness here. There we go. That's it. Not to over darken it also. Okay. So let's take a look from afar. There we go. Yeah, I think I like these strands even better than the first one, to be honest, because they look more raw. They look more watercolory. So that's definitely takeaway. I'm leaning towards watercolors. I really like, for example, Marco Bucci's illustrations. It's like an explosion of color with all those shadow colors and stuff. I admire him. I would like to learn to draw that way, but I understand that watercolor has been forever my passion, and it was really scary like to do things in watercolor because in traditional media it takes a lot longer. First of all, it does like to relax and stuff, it does work too, but if you make a mistake then you're stuck with that mistake. Sometimes those mistakes are awesome, like there are a lot of artists, me included, who say that mistakes are awesome, but when you're learning, you kind of and you make a mistake, you're not that particularly sure that that mistake is so awesome. So yeah, I would suggest learning, yeah, but learning the good way first, like the same thing with perspective. When you learn how perspective works, what it does, it allows you to bend the rules. Unless you know how it works, I tried. This is what I went through myself. So I tried. Um, Unless you know how perspective works, you can't bend it. It doesn't work. So it always has something like behind the idea, that the perspective behind the idea of like crooked illustrations and stuff like that, you're looking at it and you're thinking, that is so cool. But like for sure that happened like unintentionally, and or maybe intentionally, but just like, eh, let's do it and that's it. You know, guys, what I want to do almost? So I want to go a bit maybe later here. I know I did it. I said I wouldn't go into details, but I want to add that fluffiness, the sense of fluffiness more. That's it. That's it. Don't touch. Don't touch. Don't touch. Let's take a bit from here. That's it. Don't touch. Okay. Um, so yeah, break the rules after you know how they work. That works then, yes. But unless you know how the rules work, there's no way you will know how to do it correctly, to break them correctly. And then the mistakes that you make are going to be the mistakes because you know how to do things. Okay, we're going in here. I want to make it look fluffy. So I'm going in with this color. I'm going in here like this. So like kind of blurring a bit the line in between the two. And here I'm gonna go over maybe with a bigger size brush, the same brush. Okay. Here I'm gonna go with the lighter color also and do the floofiness, the sweater. Now it looks a bit fluffy, and then we will add those little thingies. Okay, so here I don't like that orange. Let's take it away. Too much orange. Okay, now we're gonna finish this arm, and what I'm thinking is that I'm gonna continue with my homework, the one that I have from the mentorship that I'm doing, and it's actually the 3 scenes that I had to draw. If you would like, guys, if you comment, I will share them. But if not, it's okay. Okay, so let's do this side also. Like so. And we need something darker here. Separate this to make a shadow. So I'm taking from the same palette that I have for the sweater. I'm taking from other places, but I'm making it darker. Okay, and let's add that floofiness now already. Okay, so I'm just taking the bigger, I like the color. This one. Make it a bit redder. Make it a bit fluffier here. First of all, let's make it a bit redder and make it fluffier over here. Okay, so for today, that's it. We're gonna finish here, I think. I don't know how long this lasted the video, but I really need to finish the homework. And the only thing that I don't like here is that let's raise our arm a bit. I covered this up like so. So we create a closed shape here. Yeah, so for today, we've done the leg. Actually, this looks a bit dirty here. Let's go back in with peachier tones so it doesn't look dirty. Okay, and the thing that I want to remove is that knee. So the kneecap here, I already have it, so I don't need it anymore. Okay, perfect. So for now, thank you so much guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will be continuing tomorrow in the morning, and we will be drawing together, and I hope that you could hear me well and the screen was also you could view the screen well. So thank you so much for joining me here, and yeah, I'll see you tomorrow guys. By the way, I lost count to the days, to how many days I've been drawing. I need to see on Instagram. I'm like putting now the day numbers. So yeah, I'll see you soon. Bye. Now